Heyo, Jay here with Bikes Kill Cancer. And if you're a new cyclist, hopefully you're watching this. Maybe you just got your first bike and maybe you spent a little bit more than you thought. Maybe you spent over $1,000. And if you did, there's probably a really good chance that your bike did not come with pedals. There's a reason for that. Bike companies realize that once you get sort of to a certain price point, and for some reason about $1,000 seems to be that cutoff point, is that people who are buying bikes at that price range and above like to choose their own pedals. And there's a lot of different pedal options out there, and there's a lot of different reasons that a person might choose one pedal over the other. Your basic three choices: you get a flat pedal, a clipless mountain bike pedal, or a clipless road pedal. And how do you know which one is right for you? Well, we're going to give you a little bit of information today that will hopefully help you figure that out. One thing to keep in mind is that there are a ton of different pedal manufacturers out there, and I'm only showing you just a small sample. I'm not even really showing you a sample. I'm just showing you some Shimano pedals and then some generic flat pedals that I have back there. But trust me, there's a ton of different options out there. Your local bike shop probably has multiple brands to choose from, and I'm sure that they have some folks working in those shops that would be more than happy to talk to you about the different pros and cons of each brand. We're just looking at the three sort of main types of pedals that are out there and why you may choose one over the other. So let's turn around and take a look at what's behind us, and we'll dig right in. All right, laid out here in front of us on the workbench, we have several different pedal options and the shoes that you might normally wear with these types of pedals. We've got flat pedals. We've got flat pedal with a toe strap. Also have a road pedal here. Often you'll hear the road and mountain bike pedals referred to as clipless. Reason being it's called clipless is because this was called a toe clip back in the day. Obviously, neither one of those pedals has a toe clip, hence the term clipless. So often you'll walk into a bike shop and they'll say, "Oh, do you want flat pedals or clipless pedals?" And you're like, "Huh?" So that's what they mean when they say clipless. So road clipless, mountain bike clipless. We're going to dig into each style here. And for you, no need to take notes, because at the end of each little bit of discussion, I will make sure that I pop up some pros and cons of each after each discussion. So let's dig right in. We'll sort these out of the way so that I have a little bit more room. There we go. All right. There's a good chance that you have at some point owned or maybe even bought a bike that has a flat style pedal. And just like its name, it is flat. Nice big surface for your foot. And you can look on this one, you can actually see it has little grippy pegs so that your foot stays in place if it gets wet or damp. You don't want your foot sliding off during the middle of your ride. This particular pedal is, I don't know, probably not a super expensive pedal, probably 20, 25 bucks. Nothing super fancy about it. There are a lot of different options out here. You'll see a lot of the folks who ride mountain bikes actually ride a flat pedal, but it'll be a much slimmer version of this, have some much more aggressive, grippy spikes on it. And the idea being is it's a nice big surface for your foot. It also allows you to quickly remove your foot off the pedal in case you get into something over your head. This is just a great option for anyone who is very, very new to cycling and is just not comfortable with the idea of being locked in to the pedal. A similar option would be a flat pedal with a toe clip. The foot slides in there. That keeps the toe piece keeps the foot from sliding too far forward, and then you can actually tighten this strap down. This used to be the standard for any type of road bike, especially if you were a racer. If you watch old racing videos, you'll see the guys and gals in the 70s, 80s wearing this or using this type of pedal. It works. It definitely keeps the foot locked in place, especially when that strap is tightened all the way down. The downside of that is to get out of that pedal quickly and safely is you have to reach down and actually disengage the buckle and the strap. So you don't really see these that often anymore. I do see, especially with those younger, hipper millennial kids riding the fixed gear bikes, I will see them riding some variation like this without the toe strap. Works well in terms of keeping the foot sliding off the front of the pedal, and now without that strap allows for quick and easy exit of the foot in case you're falling over or coming to a stop or a standstill. So what are some of the pros and cons of using this flat style pedal? They're inexpensive. You can pick up a pair either made out of metal or plastic for probably $20, $25. I would just warn you that you're getting what you pay for. That's probably the biggest pro, is they're inexpensive. The next big pro is that if you are new to cycling, you are probably going to feel a lot more comfortable riding on this flat style of pedal, because it's going to allow you to quickly take your foot off the pedal and put it back down on the ground. So what are some of the cons? Well, as I mentioned before, they're inexpensive, or they can be inexpensive. Therefore, they're not very durable. If you could feel that what I'm feeling right now, you can actually feel the bearings in this one grinding a little bit. They do make more expensive options, and when I say more expensive options, well over $100 for a really nice pair of lightweight aluminum ones with some really nice bearings that keep them spinning nice and smooth. Other cons is that you probably, especially if you ride a lot, you're probably going to outgrow this pedal very, very quickly. You're going to realize that there is an advantage to being locked in or clipped into your pedal when you are riding. The main one being actually safety, right? You don't want to be out mountain biking and your foot get wet and have your foot slide or skate off this pedal unexpectedly. Imagine that happening, and then these little sharp, nubby metal pieces biting you in the back of your calf. Last con for this one is lack of efficiency. Think about the type of shoe that you might wear with this, something like maybe a running shoe or even a hiking shoe. Soft and cushy, which is great when you're walking, super comfortable. But for pedaling, as you're pedaling, that squishiness is absorbing a lot of the power that would normally transfer into the pedal and through your pedal stroke. So just, again, not very efficient. The bike industry realizes that, and that's why they've actually built some bike-specific flat pedal shoes. This one is the Dirt Bag from 510. And just be thankful that you don't have smell-o-vision on your YouTube channel, because I've had these shoes for quite some time. And you can see the bottom of this is flat with, look, kind of almost like octopus tentacles on the bottom of it. This is this stealth rubber, which is something that you find like in climbing shoes, but it actually is kind of sticky and allows it to grip the pedal a little bit better. This particular shoe is a little stiffer than a typical running shoe or hiking shoe, so you get a little bit better transfer of power as well. So there we have the flat pedal. Everything that I said about the flat pedal holds true for the toe clip style version, except that the toe clip, when you can actually sort of lock your foot in, and you could actually even use a more cycling specific shoe with this guy for a little bit more efficiency. Okay, let's talk about clipless pedals, and I'm going to talk about road and mountain bike pedals together for a moment in terms of the fact that they are clipless. And just as a refresher, clipless means that there is no longer a toe clip on the front of the pedal. We're actually going to lock or engage our foot into the mechanism. If you are a skier, then you're probably familiar with something that works very, very similar. You have a cleat on the bottom of your shoe that goes into the front, and then when we press down, it locks and engages into the shoe, much like a ski binding and a ski boot. And then to get out, let's see if I can do this. I promise you, this is much easier, man. You are on the actual bicycle. Mountain bike pedal works very, very similar to a road pedal. Cleat, which is much, much smaller, engages into the front of the shoe, and then as you press down, the spring pushes back and locks that cleat into the pedal or onto the pedal. And if you're looking closely, you've probably already figured out that the difference is this pedal is two-sided. Let's take a look at the road pedal and an example of the shoe and the cleat that you would actually use with that pedal. So a couple of things. When we talk about a cleat, we're talking about something that mounts onto the bottom of the shoe, whether it's a road shoe or a mountain bike shoe, that is designed to work with the specific pedal. So this is a Shimano pedal with a Shimano cleat. Look brand has their own cleat that works with their pedals. So they're generally not interchangeable. But as a beginning cyclist, why would you want to use a road pedal? Well, if you've gotten a mountain bike, you would not want to use a road pedal. But if you have gotten a road bike, or maybe even like a comfort or hybrid style bicycle that you're using for fitness and you want to get maximum efficiency out of your riding, this might be an option for you. But generally speaking, people who buy road bikes want to use a road pedal. So what are some of the pros and cons of using a road pedal? Well, first, it is very lightweight compared to a mountain bike pedal or even a lot of the flat pedals that are out there. The efficiency, which I mentioned a minute ago, is also a big plus. And when we talk about efficiency, what we're talking about is that we have a direct engagement shoe and pedal on a fairly large surface, so that when we are pushing down on that pedal, we are getting maximum power into the pedal, which then translates into the cranks, which turn the bike, which means that the harder you push, the more efficient you are, the faster you will go. What are some of the cons? Well, if you haven't already figured it out, this is a very singular use type of piece of equipment, right? You only are going to use this. Most people are only going to use this on a road bike. So you couldn't just throw on your tennis shoes and jump on your bike and ride down to the grocery store or the local bar. You could, but it would be really difficult because your foot would always be skating off or slipping off the pedal. Generally, road pedals tend to be fairly expensive. There are some out there that probably start in the $60 to $70 range, but I will warn you, when you are buying a clipless pedal, you get what you pay for. So if you're going to spend $60, $70, just understand that over time, the performance, the lifespan of that pedal is going to be limited. That might be in the fact that the bearings wear out and it doesn't spin or turn smoothly. It might be harder when you're engaged to the pedal for you to disengage from the pedal. So again, you get what you pay for. But a con, I guess, for some people is that these can be a little expensive to buy. The nice thing is, if you buy a nice high-quality pedal, it should last you for many, many, many years. This particular pedal, I think, is on its third bicycle in my garage. So I've had these for, I don't know, a good 5 or 6 years, and they are working just as well as the first day that I got them. Something to note, and this is common on a lot of pedals, both road and mountain bike clipless pedals, is that you do have an adjustment dial here, which allows you to adjust the tension. And when I'm talking about a tension, I'm talking about the spring device on the back that pushes back and then clips back over the rear of the pedal. You can actually fine-tune that engagement to make it easier or harder to get in and out of the pedal. So if you're new to cycling, a lot of people like to dial it down so that it's easier to get in and out of the pedal. And then you can adjust that tension as you get more and more comfortable riding with the pedal. All right, let's dive into some of the pros and cons in a little bit more detail with the mountain bike pedal. As I mentioned earlier, it is dual-sided, so that means it is identical on either side, and I can clip in on either side. So it doesn't matter, I don't have to look down and make sure that I am going to engage the pedal on the correct side, because either side is correct. What else? Durability. This entire pedal is made out of metal, and you can look at it and see that this is a much loved or much used pedal. It's taken a lot of abuse and it is still going strong. This particular pedal actually has a frame built around it, so it actually also gives you a little bit more surface area. Just keep in mind that there are some mountain bike pedals that are a little bit more minimalist and they don't have as much surface area on them. The goal there is just to reduce weight and make the pedal as light as possible. Going back to the actual mountain bike shoe and the pedal that's attached to the bottom, much smaller than the road pedal. And it is also made completely out of metal, so it is probably a little bit heavier than a road cleat, but it's also much more durable. They do, as all clipless cleat pedals do, they need to be changed out from time to time. The edges start to round out and the engagement becomes not as robust, so your foot could pop out while you're pedaling. What are some of the cons to a mountain bike pedal? Well, they are heavier, so if you're using them on your road bike, they're going to add a little bit of extra weight. And just like road pedals, they can get quite expensive, several $100s for a pair. But you can also get in on an entry-level pedal in that $50, $60 range. But again, just like a road pedal, you're going to get what you pay for. And my experience is that mountain bike pedals, inexpensive mountain bike pedals, just do not last because they take a lot more abuse. You're riding them in the dirt, the mud, through water, they're hitting rocks, and you are going to very, very quickly notice that degradation in performance over time. All right. All right, hey, we have moved things back inside. It was just getting a little bit too cold in the garage, and yeah, so that's pedals in a nutshell. Hopefully you found that helpful, interesting. Maybe got you thinking a little bit more beyond what you actually need for your riding style as a new cyclist. And just know that riding style can actually change over time. You may feel more comfortable using a flat pedal to start with, but then finding yourself wanting to progress to either a road or a mountain bike clipless pedal. One last ask here before I go is that if you do a quick Google search of bicycle pedals for sale, you will find a multitude of online sellers. And that's great. I mean, there's that's one of the wonderful things about the internet is you get tons of options. But I really, really encourage you to go to your local bike shop to make that purchase. For one, you'll actually talk to a real person who might be able to answer any additional questions that this video has brought up. And they may even, or not may even, hopefully they'll be more than happy to install those pedals for you. Pedals are threaded. One of the pedals is threaded in reverse. So if you don't know what you're doing, you can actually end up messing up not only the pedal, but the crank arm on your bicycle. So again, I just encourage you to reach out to your local bike shop for your pedal needs. And yeah, hey, thanks again for watching. This is Jay with Bikes Kill Cancer. Is always a pleasure to hopefully drop a little bit of knowledge your way. And if you like what you're watching, please give it a like, and even better, give us a follow here at Bikes Kill Cancer. Share this with your friends who may be new to cycling. And there goes the cat. So again, thanks again for watching. Take care, and remember, keep the rubber side down. This is Jay with Bikes Kill Cancer. Take care.